Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's live. Haven't done one of these for a couple of weeks, so I want to jump on. I've got lots going on in life, so I want to share with people a few things that are happening, and yeah, talk about what's next and what you can expect from the channel, what you can expect from business, what you can expect from Rooshocks, all those fun things that are happening in my world at the moment. So, and there's obviously and I will talk briefly about the crypto market and all those also fun things that have been happening. So. If you're here, say hey. Chris is here. G'day, Chris. Thanks for swinging by. Yes, the donuts. Yes, there was I did put up on my Instagram story as I normally do. If anyone's got any questions, I did get asked one question: will there be donuts? We'll have to wait and see on that one. I did tease some donuts, but I maybe don't have donuts. But we'll see what happens there. So yeah, like I said tonight, as you'll see from the title of the thing, I am talking at a conference. So I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm going to talk about VeeCon. And I'm going to talk about something about, you'll probably see a little dinosaur tail up here. I'll talk a bit about tax planning. I'll talk about the Rooshocks NFT project. And of course, as always, if you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments. I can even talk, I'll probably also talk a little bit about the current state of the crypto markets. Let me make a note on that one so I remember. And yeah, so the first thing that I did want to talk about was the Aussie Crypto Roadshow. So I am speaking at a conference this Saturday about all things NFTs and in particular the Rooshocks NFT project. And I'll be talking about tax on crypto, NFTs, all that kind of stuff. So that's exciting. If you're in Adelaide or in South Australia and you're keen to come along, I have dropped some links on my Instagram bios in the past. I think it's on my Twitter, those kind of things. Google Aussie Crypto Roadshow. I think most of the tickets are gone. I think it's going to be about 180 or so people there. So that's exciting, really exciting opportunity to, one, make people aware of some of the tax obligations they're going to have when it comes to crypto and NFTs. Obviously talk about it on the YouTube channel, but there's plenty of people that aren't thinking to go to YouTube to get this advice. So they're coming along with things like this. And there's lots of other cool projects and crypto and NFT projects are going to be talking there. And people go, oh, that sounds really interesting. But they need to have an understanding of, well, if they put their money in, X project, what are the tax implications? If they go on Y project, what's the tax implications there? So having that understanding of, and I've had a lot of work the last couple of weeks with clients who've done quite a bit of work in crypto, and we're trying to reconcile what can be only called a mess in the end because there's so many transactions on so many days and across so many blockchains, different wallets and stuff like that. And it becomes a mess because you're trying to dissect this stuff and you can't remember what happened 2 or 3 years ago. So if you understand how something's going to be taxed, you might, one, decide whether you actually want to go into that product or not, or is it going to create a documentation nightmare for you? And two, you're going to keep on top of it as you go. So that's some of the key things. And that's what I'm really excited to talk about at this conference, to talk about some of those things and just explain, in a brief way, look, this is, some of the problems that people are running into across the space. It's across the whole crypto tax space. It's typically, a lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, lack of information out there, a lack of know-how to actually track things, and then a lack of support. And then that's where obviously I'm coming in to go, I've got the YouTube channel, I've got the business, I've got the NFT project, all these different things where I can help you across your crypto tax journey. So that's really exciting. First time I've ever really spoken to anything like that. So that's definitely a great opportunity and really excited. And I think they are looking at bringing this conference into state. I think they've got one lined up for end of July in Brisbane. And there are plans to have a Melbourne-based one and a Sydney-based one as well. So exciting. There's lots of different conferences going around and stuff like that. This is the first one of the Aussie Crypto Roadshow. So see how it goes. And that's the exciting thing. And then, of course, next Tuesday, I fly off at 6 a.m. to Sydney and then on to LA and then on to Minneapolis for VeeCon. So that's the exciting thing that's going on. So I've got a lot of deadlines I'm trying to push this week with the conference Saturday. Monday is the tax return due dates. And then Tuesday, I head off for the VeeCon. So it's been a hectic couple of weeks trying to nail all these different deadlines, but we're almost there, only a few more days to go, and things are progressing along quite well. And that's exciting. So very exciting. It is exciting. So I'm excited to head off to VeeCon. I've just been playing just before here with the VeeCon app, trying to line up the schedule. So I might bring that up and tell you some of the people I'm aiming to see or to listen to speak at VeeCon. And it's an exciting opportunity because I'm going to get to hear from a lot of people that are successful, way more successful than me. And that's who you learn off. So, some of the people I'm hoping to listen to talk is, people like Gary Vee, of course, Spike Lee, the filmmaker, Kevin Rose, Kevin Smith. Who else have we got in here? Pharrell Williams, Mila Kunis, Seth Green. Who else have we got? Danny Cole. Snoop Dogg's going to be there. He'll be quite interesting to listen to. Liam Payne, Logan Paul, quite a few different sports people, people. So there's a lot of different people that are going to be there, and very, very exciting. So busy, man. Yes, I have been, but I love being busy, and there's always the room for capacity, and there's lots of things I'm doing internally in the business and internally with this to be able to produce more content. So vlog it. Yeah, I've got 2 votes for vlogging it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting as much footage as I possibly can to try and share with you guys the experience that I have across the whole trip. So yeah, I'm very excited to come back. There's definitely a video coming out ASAP. I'm still trying to work out whether I do a daily vlog. We have 3 different videos, or whether I combine it into one. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. Do you want to see one vlog for the entire trip that may be 20, 30 minutes long across my whole trip? Or would you prefer to see it broken down into a few different segments? Let me know on that. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm hoping to meet Gary Vee. That's the goal. I want to meet him, get the selfie with him, because that's, obviously one of the dreams of mine. And of course, you might see a dinosaur tail up there. This comes from, I did get a print of my VeeFriends NFT. So this is what has allowed me to get my VeeCon ticket, And yeah, they had a partnership with a company called Metal Relics, where I got that, excitingly, I got that one sent to me. So that was really cool. And yeah, it gave me some ideas about what kind of physical prints I could potentially do for the NFT project going forward, Rooshocks. So that was exciting. So I'd rather see the donuts. Well, you're going to have to keep searching, Octopus. You're going to have to keep searching. Chris said, yeah, shorts daily and then a wrap-up video. So yeah, I'll try and produce as much, story. So if you're not following me on Instagram or Twitter, that's where it'll be. I'll try and get as much story content, short-form content, a little bit of that on YouTube, TikTok, etc. Try and get as much content out as I can to show you guys, what I'm up to. So that's an exciting thing for me. Of course, we still do have the Rooshocks NFT project. So I've done it the last few lives, but if anyone does buy an NFT tonight, I'll send you out a copy of this book, the Gary Vee book, 12 and a half. What's really cool about the project is that it's priced in Ethereum, which means that when we've had a big dip in the price of Ethereum, it means that the NFTs become even greater value because they come cheaper in Australian dollars. So the originals, when I last checked, they were down to around about 270 Australian dollars. So you can get 3 individual tax returns for $270, so $90 each there. Plus you have the NFT, which I'm starting to drop in the Discord as of this week. I'm starting to drop different tax planning tips that I'm throwing into the Discord that people will be able to hopefully utilize. But they're kind of like niche, specific tips saying, do this. And it's stuff that I'm going to, give those little tidbits of advice exclusive to holders. So that's just another advantage, beyond the initial utility. You get the chance for, those kind of little exclusive things there. You get always of the chance to potentially win different things. So like I said, Chris said, what if we buy 2? Well, you can either have 2 copies of this book, or I can send you another book. I've got some other good business ones sitting over here that I can send someone a copy of one if they want to buy an NFT tonight. So it is exciting with the price drop. Obviously, I get less, but I don't care. I'm excited to be able to give even better prices to people across the project. So I might just share that screen quickly with you guys. I'll get that one up. We'll bring up the classic character screens that I've shared across previously. And yeah, so, the price of some of these is down to, these are priced in the ETH price, 0.08 for the tax return one, which when I will have a quick look at what that is currently in AUD. But yeah, that's the exciting part from a client point of view, that if the price of Ethereum does drop, then the NFTs become better value. So yeah, $275. So yeah, that's definitely a good bargain if I don't say so. You beat me to the file sale pitch. Yeah, so why not have a fire sale and, get yourself a free book, get yourself a discounted NFT, get yourself services and lock that in. And yeah, that's what's going on with the NFT project at the moment. So I appreciate anyone that has supported the project. We've had people trickling in each week buying into the project. That's been nice and exciting. So I appreciate all the support with that. Talked about the Crypto Roadshow, talked about VeeCon. I'll talk about tax planning. So that's one of the other things that I'm doing at the moment, which again, you can get as a part of the NFT project, and or I have offered discounted services to NFT holders for tax planning. So you can get a tax planning at a discounted price. But yeah, I've been busy doing tax planning for a range of different clients over the last month. And yeah, we had a really good success story this week with a business client I worked with who was looking at an initial tax debt of around about $100,000 if we do nothing. And with a few strategies that I've put into place, if we follow all of that, the tax debt drops down to about 40 grand. So about $60,000 in savings by having that session. And of some of those savings, if we didn't do it in the tax planning session, that would not have happened. So just by having that service, going through, and I love doing that stuff because, if that's $60,000 extra that's going to be in the pocket of my clients, that's something I definitely would love to do. So yeah, there's been plenty of clients we've looked at, and some of the clients it's been just making them aware of maybe what their schedule of payments are over the next 12 months. Like that's been an important part of that tax planning service. So it's really exciting to do that with clients, and it's been a range of business clients. I've done it with those that are in crypto, those that are in small micro businesses, or anyone that's got something outside of the salary wage that's going to significantly impact. And yeah, it's looking at a range of different areas. It's not just go spend more money. It's looking at structuring. We're looking at, what kind of super contributions, what the tax impact of any super contributions would be. Then they can go speak to their advisor about it. We're looking at, where assets are currently sitting, where the depreciation of those. With a lot of these things that have been happening over previous years with carried forward depreciation and instant asset write-offs and temporary full expensing, all these things that have definitely impacted and maybe have made some really good years for people, and all of a sudden they've got a massive tax bill. So that's definitely been something. So the tax planning session for me was great. Thanks, mate. Yeah, appreciate. So yeah, I had one of these with Chris, and that's, if I ever want a testimonial, their one is, I'm hoping it's providing good value to people, and the feedback I'm getting is that the people that are doing the sessions are going, wow, that was totally worth it. So, I picked up a new client last week and we sat down, we did the session, and, his feedback was that I'd have never got this before. This is what I've been looking for, this in depth. So that's really exciting for me because it means that I'm doing a job and I'm doing it well and people are happy with that. And that's the whole point of me being in business is to, explain tax to people as well as save it. So if my biggest goal whenever I have any of these tax planning sessions is for the people to walk out understanding it. Because I've been in offices before where people explain things to clients and the clients haven't understood it. And the person explaining it thinks that's job done. But that's not job done. My job's not done until the person on the other side of the desk or the other side of the phone or the other side of the Zoom call these days understands what I'm explaining. So that's really important to me. So that's been exciting to do those tax planning sessions. So yeah, that's kind of what's been keeping me busy, has been that combination of planning for this conference, planning to go overseas, doing the tax planning, the NFT project, of course. I've also been trying to hit the tax deadline by the 16th of May. I've been working on some crypto tax bookkeeping, which has been a lot of work, but a lot of learning, and we've definitely made some great progress in those areas. And all of that on top of running a business, I'm in the process of renewing service package agreements for next year for clients, which is always an exciting time to, look at what I'm doing for a client, look if there's any other areas where I think that client would need the help, and, having those conversations with them. So, and all while this has been going on, the crypto markets have taken a nice old dip. So I'm sure people will have seen it, of the dramatic charts on some of these assets, and across not just crypto, it's been across pretty much most asset classes at the moment. It's been pretty rough kind of thing. So if I'm going to bring up a chart here to show you guys just the price of Bitcoin, for instance. But yeah, a lot of our share markets, markets everywhere have been taking some big old tumbles, and that's the reality of investing. Investing is risky, and that's what it is. So if you have a look at, some of this is the Bitcoin 1 year chart. And if we look at a 6 months chart, 6 months ago, it was sitting at that 90 odd thousand dollars Australian, and we got all the way down to 43. So, half that value is gone. But, there's a lot of charts that are going to look quite similar, I imagine. If we have a look at the ASX 200 over the last 6 months, we've seen these. We had a big dip back then in January 2022, but you can see this dip here. It is a big dip, and people are people's livelihoods and stuff. If they've overinvested, this is one of the risks with investing, is when these markets do crash, and people need to understand that what you risk, when you're investing, it could be risky. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing, it can be risky. So, got a comment here. Enjoy your trip, Ethan. I've been trying to buy more crypto, but really worried about the whole crypto after the recent Luna and UST depegging. I lost a fair bit. I think I'll stay away from crypto for now. So, yeah, this whole Luna and UST thing has been a pretty big drama thing in the crypto space, and that's the risk when people are involved in, got their assets invested in what they deem as safe, and sometimes safe isn't always safe, and some of these things don't have the correct underlying assets as what they say, and then when someone tries to manipulate that, sometimes it can cause massive drop-off. So, yeah, Bloodblast is right, Chris. It definitely has been so, and that's been across the share market, like I said, across crypto, across NFTs. It has been, but that's when you've got to, take a step back, zoom out. Look, if you're in this for the long term, the good chances, if you go to those markets and look at a, 2-year time frame, you're likely going to be still well up. So sometimes you do have to zoom out, take perspective of what you're really looking at, and understand that if you are going to try and, play these markets and time things, you need to have a good understanding of, one, what you're doing, and two, that it's risky. That's the reality of any type of investing. It is risky. So, yeah, tax time will be fun with all my realized and unrealized losses. And that's the thing. Look, from a tax point of view, you're better off to have this crash now and have an understanding of where you're at and make decisions. And this is why the tax planning thing is just so key. I've dropped a few tips in the holders chat over in the Discord of just some ways that people could move some assets around and significantly reduce their tax bills. There's a lot of ways you can do these things, but it's important you do these things by 30th of June. You can't go back and change things after it's happened. So really important to understand where you're at all the time when it comes to your investing. If you're doing a lot of moves, know where you're going to be at, know what your gains are, what's your tax obligation, etc. So, Chris has said down 100K this year, but up 100K since starting. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what you got to look at. Like, we'd all love to sell at the top, buy back in at the bottom, but that's not the reality of it. So if you're holding, if you've got $1 and it ends up at 2, well, guess what? You're ahead. Like, just because maybe it was worth 3 at one stage and it drops back down, you've got to try and focus on, well, have you actually made money overall? That's got to be the focus. So, thoughts on the current inflation hike and how this is going to play out? Yeah, so it's quite an interesting area. Obviously the inflation rate, the interest rate has gone up. We've had quite a significant jump in inflation. So all of these things are creating a lot of fear in the markets, and the media loves to hound down these fear. We've got an election coming up. So it's a combination of high inflation. We've got interest rates rise. We've got potential change in government, all these things, and so much in the media about negativity, as you'll always see. And it puts this pressure on people go, oh, what am I going to do? And again, it's good to zoom back out and let's look at our actual interest rates, and they're at record lows still. Just because we've jumped, 0.25 basis points, why, we're still at such a low rate. We couldn't go any lower pretty much where we were. So yes, we've had an interest rate rise, but what does that really mean in the grand scheme of things? Interest rates are still incredibly low. So yes, we will likely see more rises over the next, might be 6 months, couple years. But we still got to look at and take perspective of, what are the actual interest rates? And the thing is, if people are over borrowing based on what they really, you got to be realistic of what can you actually afford. If you're going to borrow a loan that's over 30 years and it's $500,000 and you're borrowing at 3% interest rate, you really want to have an understanding, well, if this interest rate hits 6%, can I afford that? And if you can't, you've then got to start to question, well, what am I going to do if these rates rise? There should be a plan in your budget. You never want to run yourself so tight that you can only afford at current rates, because then it's too risky if rates go up. Even if you fix it for 5 years at a low rate, what's going to happen after those 5 years? Is your wage going to grow, or are you actually going to be able to meet repayment? So I think that's an interesting thing. The whole inflation area is quite interesting. I notice that when I go shopping, the cost of groceries is going up. That's the reality of it. It sucks, but it's the reality of it. And, prices are going up across a lot of things. One of the software suppliers I use regularly, part of their fees are now potentially going up by 100%, 400% in some cases. So I got to wear that as a business. I'm now going to go, okay, well, that's going to significantly impact my budget. So things change. Like, that's the reality. And again, but you've got to have these things built into understanding that if things go up, how do I afford that? Am I running so tight? You always want that buffer room across anything. So, yeah, if it's grocery bills, have a look at your bills. Well, can you afford to put $20 extra or $30 extra in your budget for groceries? That way you're covered. And, I think a thing of lettuce is $5 at the moment or something. Like, things have gone up, but I'm not sure how it plays out exactly in the long term. But I think the reality is people are going to get caught out. They're going to get caught short because people have been overextending. We've had a lot of government handouts over the last couple of years. People have obviously been doing it tough as well, but others have benefited from handouts when they weren't really affected that much. And therefore, they've had this false sense of security of, oh, well, money's just going to keep coming in. It's keep coming in. And someone will bail me out. But that's a really poor approach to have. And, we're going to see a lot of this in the election. There's a lot of crazy promises being thrown forward of, we're going to build, I've seen something the other day, we're going to build 1 million affordable houses. And I couldn't help but chuckle, but think 1 million houses, that's a lot of houses. Like, we've got builder shortages at the moment. How are we going to build 1 million houses? Like, some of these things are just ridiculous what get thrown out there. But I think having that understanding of, like, give yourself the buffer room. That way you can cover yourself if inflation hits, if interest rates rises go up. You've got all these things. Make sure you can cover yourself and you'll be fine. So, that's the main things I want to cover. If anyone's got any other questions, do chuck them in the comments. So, like I said, the Crypto Roadshow is coming up this Saturday. That's exciting. First time I've really ever spoken at a conference like that. Speaking in front of, it will be, I think, about 180 people, which is exciting. We've got the NFT project. So again, if you want to score yourself a book, buy an NFT tonight. They're at cheap prices because of the drop in ETH. Go and do that. If you need help with it, I'm happy to jump on a call with you and guide you through the process, or you don't know which character to buy. I've had a lot of conversations with that. And like I said, it's more than just those utilities. It's chances to win things like this. It's different giveaways, prizes, etc. And it's also the exclusive, knowledge I'm dropping across Discord just in the holders chat for people that hold the NFTs. We've got VeeCon, exciting. Can't wait to share all those details with you. Tax planning, I'm going to be doing more tax planning sessions in June, so it's not too late if you're interested in that. And then obviously I've chatted about the crypto markets. So, Chris has left a comment, cash is king in a recession. And it is, like, you should always have those. That's where emergency funds come into it. Having those funds that if things are dropping, what's your plan? If you're running a business, what's going to happen that, how are you going to handle that? Like, that's some of the things that you need to do. So, do you see any new tax laws on the horizon we should be aware of? So I think we're going to see definitely, look, a change of government always brings potential changes to tax laws. There's a lot of stuff being talked about family trusts at the moment, but obviously we've just had a budget. So there'll be some minor things that obviously if we have a change of government that may come through. If the government stays the same, that's not going to be as much. And then obviously the big interesting time will be budget time next year when obviously if we have a change of government, if Labor get in and they put forward their first budget, that'll definitely be interesting. I think in the crypto tax space, there's going to be a lot of changes in the next 18 months, but they're probably still 12 to 18 months away. But Australia really needs to get on top of this and put some rules and regulations in place that are clear, are simple, but also attract investment or attract people to want to do things properly and do them the right way. Around DAOs and DeFi and stuff like that. So there are a lot of the areas I think the ATO are focusing on, besides just general compliance. But around some of this trust stuff, obviously, like I said, some of the crypto space, and then some of these other, if we have a change in government, that could bring forward some other changes. So in regards to the YouTube channel, I've obviously been, you'll see that the content has slowed a bit. I really want to pick this up. We're coming to tax time and I do want to keep pumping out videos. So keep giving me suggestions. That gives me motivation to keep putting videos out. I'm trying to, put plans in place so I can get some help around getting this content out because, if my time is limited and obviously I do need to focus at times on client work. That's the important part. I don't want to miss deadlines on that, but I equally want to hit the YouTube content, get the content out there. So if anyone knows anyone that's looking for any work in YouTube editing, thumbnails, anything like that, that's wanting to jump on board the Rooshock accounting team and this whole Rooshocks team, then hit me up if you're interested in that type of work. Because I'm looking to bring on someone to help just, distribute content and create more content. There's a lot of content I've got out there, but I'm getting asked a lot of the same questions all the time. So it's redirecting people to that content. So Other than that, I will. Yeah, what did I miss aside from everything? You're gonna have to go back and watch it. You're gonna have to go back and watch it redacted. There's a good summary. Like I said, I'll run through the 5 topics I've talked about. I've got the Crypto Roadshow. So that's the conference this week. We've got the NFT project. Score yourself a free book if you mint tonight at discounted prices because of number 3, which is the crypto markets getting smashed, share markets getting smashed, NFT markets getting smashed. It's tough, but that leads into tax planning is an ideal time to do it. If your portfolio's dropped, you've recognized gains, you could be sitting on a large tax bill. You need to understand how those unrealized gains could benefit you or what they actually mean. And then, of course, VeeCon next Tuesday. I'll be away for just over a week over in the US for VeeCon. I'll be sharing as much content with you guys as I can. Check out YouTube, check out Twitter, check out Instagram. Make sure you follow me on all those. And yeah, I will be back in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully for probably a live to dissect that and then definitely the full vlog style video. So I appreciate everyone tuning in and I'll talk to you guys again soon.